This GPS system, about 20 satellites that is across the globe, that tells you where you are exactly, aids in the navigation. It is not just about maps, it is more with the time synchronization. So each satellite has multiple atomic clock, and that is super precise, like it is precise to billionth of a second, and that is how it tells you your location. Without time synchronization, it will fail. Not just this, not just navigation, the economic system will fail, the power grids will fail, the communication network will be down, nothing will work. So it is super super critical. And I happen to be at the place where it all started, the Greenwich village in London. So Greenwich village is about 10-15 kilometers away from city center, and there is Royal Observatory of Greenwich, ROG. Before 1740s, going north and south was pretty easy. All one had to do, or the navigator had to do, was to ascertain the latitude, which was fairly easy. They had to get the angle of sun at noon, or if they are happening to travel in night or after sunset, then they had to get the angle of the north star, which was relatively stationary with earth spin. But this was not the case with latitude, and each country had their own starting point. Like ever since the concept of latitude was introduced by Romans and Indians, they chose their capital city to be the starting line. The Romans chose Alexandria, city of Alexandria, and the Indians chose Ujjain as the starting point. France chose Paris. China chose Beijing as the starting point, and their cartographers got the map to show that their capital city was the starting point. Clearly, this was not helping the situation because traveling to long distance was getting very difficult. There was this need to have a starting point that everyone would agree to. So, it was decided that the line through this village, or the Royal Observatory, would be the starting point where east and west would merge. The 0 degree of the longitude, and from there it will rotate 360 degrees, covering the sphere or the globe. Now that was one thing. Now second thing was time synchronization. Like, to get your coordinates, your latitude and longitude, you also need to know how far you are away from the next line. To get that, like the distance, you need to know the time, given if you know the speed. To get the exact time, you need to be synchronized with the central time, or Greenwich time back in those days. A handsome sum was announced of £20,000 to whoever devised a clock that would not be affected by any external factors like sea swells or heavy waves, like it did for pendulum clocks. And whoever invented that clock would be given a handsome sum of £20,000. That would surely be in millions today. John Harrison, who was a clockmaker, came into scene. He perfected chronometer. It's a pocket-sized clock, and it was super accurate. Now they had the clock. Now time synchronization. For time synchronization, they kept a ball. Back in those days, it was a black-colored leather ball that was kept at the top of Royal Observatory.
1 p.m. It goes halfway up the mast, as you see, at 5 minutes to 1, and all the way up to the top at 2 minutes to 1, and then at 1 o'clock exactly, it drops down. So the moment it drops marks 1 o'clock. And it was originally put up there as a time signal for mariners, for navigators on board ships down on the river and in the docks below us, so they could watch that and check their chronometers, the clocks they're using for navigation on board ship.
12:58 p.m. the ball will go again a little bit down, telling everyone that okay, it is 12:58 p.m. and right at 1 p.m. the ball will go all the way down, striking that it is 1 p.m. So the sailors and mariners got enough time to synchronize their chronometer exactly at 1 p.m. with respect to Greenwich or London time, and they started with their journey. So now they knew the time difference between from their location to central time, which was the Greenwich time, and with that Along with the position of celestial bodies, they got to know the longitude. Latitude and longitude with their hand, they were more precise about their journey or about their location. This helped Royal Navy in a big way, and that is why Royal Navy came as a superpower in those days, and that is why England was able to rule almost the entire globe. As you know, that sun never set for England at one time, and some credit has to be given to Greenwich meridian. The time synchronization it introduced has definitely impacted all of our lives. Okay, so that is for this video. Please put your views in the comment section.